Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another BrickBucks update. Once again, my name is Jim, and this is where we talk about Lego investing and reselling. So today we're going to talk about how to price a Lego set. I had a very nice person on the premium members Facebook group ask a question about where folks were going to be pricing certain sets heading in to Q4. And real quick, if you have any interest in becoming a premium member, I'm going to drop the link below. Please feel free to check it out. But that's a good question, and it's not the first time I've had that question. I actually used to get that question a lot. And the first thing that I tell people is before you even buy a set, you should already have a resale price in mind. And I mean, why wouldn't you do it that way, right? You don't want to just buy a set without doing your due diligence and also mentally envisioning or writing down on paper where you want that set to sell. And then, of course, get the capital for that and then buy the next set that you have in mind. So right now, you're looking at Amazon.com. We're going to talk about the Louvre. This was a set that I owned. I think I had 100 and no. I think I had around 300 of these. I had a lot of these. It is a great set. Right now, oh my gosh, it's going for $169.99. I got this set for $40 whenever I pulled the trigger on it. It was such a great set. Now I'm pulling this set up because I want to share a story with you. So I walked in. I'll never forget it. I walked into the Barnes and Nobles in Upper Arlington, Ohio, and I saw the Louvre just staring at me on the shelf. And this was the first time I ever said to myself, this is a Lego set that I need to get 1,000 of. And, unfortunately, that didn't happen. But, I automatically did the math in my head. I said, I could get this set for like $40. Pretty easy. This set will easily go for 100. If I would have bought 1,000, I like using extremes because, you should never settle for less. You should always keep on reaching for more. But that's one way to turn 40,000 into 100,000 in the span of 18 months or so. But I bought this set. I had it at $100 the next Q4, and this set was not selling. I was like, what the crap is going on? I think it got as high as $85. And I said to myself, I said, Jim, should I just open the floodgates and let it fly? And I'm looking at my inventory. This is in the middle of Q4, and this may be a question that you're going to ask yourself. Should I lower the price on this set? And I chose not to do that. I didn't do that because I had other inventory that was doing rather well. And I said to myself, the last thing I really want to do is hold on to this set another 9 or 10 months. But that's what I ended up doing. I think in March or April I started to sell a couple, so it wasn't too bad. But that was a time that I decided to hold on to a set, and that was a price that I stuck to my guns on. So you should always have a price in mind. Now, a resource that you could use, and I've done this, quite often with my retiring soon videos when we're talking about which Lego sets to invest in. This right here, you're looking at the London architecture set. Right now it's discounted for 15% off, and if retails for 40, if you're saying to yourself, man, I really like this set, I think this is a winner. Let's say, hypothetically, this is the one set you're the most excited about that Lego has. What should I price this set at? Well, you could go ahead and you could go down here, and you can see that there's 151 people. It's kind of a lot because this set sold out earlier in the year. So you might have some wait time I don't want to say you might have some competition, because you're your own competition. And don't you ever forget that. Don't worry about what other people are doing in other states with the same Lego set that you have. It's up to you to move that set. It's not up to anybody else. But if you go and see what these folks are selling this set for, you have it as high as 100, almost $100. That's something that you could consider to. I mentioned this on the Facebook public group one time. It's almost like you're collaborating with these sellers. They just don't know it. You're not doing anything wrong. They're publicly listing their price, and they're ready to go too. They have the set ready to go. So if somebody wants to pay $95 for it, it's ready to go and ship out. So something else I'm going to talk about, and I don't want you eBay folks to think I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. But when it comes to pricing a set and how much of a wait time you're going to have, this is the Lego Architecture Set London on eBay, and if you look right here, man, there's 165 people selling this Lego architecture. So like I said, if you price it strategically and that's a price you're comfortable with, that set's going to sell. If it doesn't, and you want to kind of wait, you got 165 people that might be ahead of you. You may, if you price it right, you may only have 25. Now keep in mind, that may sound like a large number, and I'm not saying it's not, but keep in mind, there's going to be, when Q4 hits, there's going to be hundreds of these sets moving. Before Lego, I resold Lego. I was reselling Elf on a Shelf, and man, I was burning through Elf on a Shelf each day. I was freaking cranking them out, and there were other people on eBay that were cranking. I mean, there were thousands of Elf on a Shelf that people were selling during Q4. And me and all the other eBay sellers, we were just burning through that inventory. So just use that number and keep that in mind. Now, I do want to show you the opposite side of the spectrum. Let's go to the U.S. Capitol. Let's see how many people have the U.S. Capitol for sale. Oh, look at that, 17. Actually, I think it's a lot less than 17, because if you see this stuff right here, that's not the Lego U.S. Capitol at all. You actually only have... Yeah, you actually only have maybe 2 people that are selling the U.S. Capitol. Man, I knew that set was going to be on fire whenever I bought it, and it is. And this right here, folks, this is a higher price than Amazon. I think Amazon is at $198. So check that out. But yeah, so use those numbers to factor in your wait time, and when it comes to pricing, another resource you can use, and I used this as an example whenever I did my Harry Potter Hogwarts Great Hall set. Is if you go to Camel, this is probably the best chart I've ever seen on Camel. I mean, you could see that this was on discount at one point in time. It was somewhere around 20% off, and then a few months later, man, there was supply issues. You could see the dots. There's not a straight line. It's broken right there. I mean, it was off to the races. So, and then when it came back, and look, people had the opportunity right there to get it on discount again. This set may be discounted. It's not discounted now. It might be discounted during Amazon Prime Day, which is October 13th and 14th, I believe. So, you could use Camel to see what the potential is as well when it comes to pricing. And finally, I'm just going to show you some questions that I ask myself when it comes to pricing. Is this a set that I'm able to double my money in 12 to 18 months? There's some people, they want to double their money in 12 months. That's great. I want to double my money in 12 minutes. But but I'm using 18 months, as a conservative amount of time. What is the ROI on other sets in that theme that have already retired? That's something you should think about whenever you're pricing that set. Again, and I already touched on it. What are other sellers selling the set for? And real quick, this is the most, not the most, but it's one of the more important things too. I gave you that example of the Louvre where I just wasn't willing to sell the Louvre. I had a price and I stuck to my guns. Now, there were some times that I've done the opposite. For example, I sold this year, I want to say 20 to 25% of my Guggenheim inventory for a 40% return on investment. Wow, that sounds terrible, right? Well, here's the deal. I did have some credit cards that were coming up, so I wanted to raise some capital and pay off those 0% credit cards. Now, it was only 25% of my inventory, which isn't bad. And now, I'm selling that Guggenheim museum at around 145% return on investment too. So, you have to ask yourself if, I talked about the Louvre. I just wasn't comfortable dropping the price on it, but let's say you're in a situation where you're trying to raise capital, whether in my case it was paying off credit cards, or if you don't lower the price 10%, that's going to seriously affect your buying potential for the next year. I mean, they're really not tough decisions. I think logic prevails in the end, but these are questions that you're going to need to ask yourself. I hope whenever you do ask yourself, you answer correctly. So that's it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and once again, man, hit that bell. I'm not doing this for me. I'm trying to make you money out there. I'm Jim with BrickBucks.net. Always go out there and get it.